Good afternoon. Well, it's still morning, but good afternoon, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. This week, or today, is Sunday of our first full week owning this truck. So, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to show you right here. We've been going over the numbers, as you can see. Going over the numbers, doing all that. So I'm going to go over the numbers, but first, Big Country on YouTube here said he wanted to see the inside of my truck and what we got working with. So don't mind my snacks and my coffee. That's what I need to do my numbers. But Country, you asked about what the inside of my truck looks like. I know the other day you're talking about removing cabinets and putting refrigerators in, and I just told you, you might as well get one of these Big Daddy sleepers so you ain't got to worry about all that stuff. But I'm going to spin this camera around. I'm going to show you around my bunk and my cab, and then we're going to get into the numbers. So stick around, stay tuned. Thanks for stopping. Now I will say, we'll tell you right now, we got two doggos. So if you see a little bit of dog hair, shit happens, all right? So just know we got two dogs. So we try to keep it clean, but they're healers. They put their glitter everywhere. All right, so this is our cab. Kind of looks like a Century on the inside. The phone there, that's our logs. And we got a dash camera up there behind the blind. But that's pretty much it. That's all you see is what you get. We don't got tablets for maps or anything like that. We don't have a GPS. We don't have none of that. What you see is what you get right there. All right, keep it simple. All right, so there's a mess on the top bunk. Minus all that, that's just whatever. It's our blankets and stuff because we have our bed flipped up and have our dinette, so we have to put our pillows and stuff somewhere, so we stick them on the top bunk. Come around this side, we have our TV, our sink. This is lights for underneath the cabinets, water pump. That's our inverter. That's our Comfort Pro APU. That's for our rooftop air conditioner. This over here is going to be our controls for our heating and cooling while we're going down the road, and then more lights. Up above there, you got cabinets, storage. It's a microwave convection oven combo thing. Right there where you see our Starlink set up is where we're just sticking at for right now. That's where we would have our Dish Network receiver if we had it, because we do have the satellite on the roof. There's our rooftop AC. There's our Max Flow Air fan. But we also do have a satellite on the roof that we could hook up to Dish Network if we choose to. Right now we don't want to. We didn't see any value in it. We may do that at a later date. So got a nice big window here with covers on it. We got a nice window behind there, so when we're cooking, we just open those two windows up, turn our exhaust fan on the roof on, and it pulls all the air out. Underneath, more storage, trash can, healer hair, and then this side of the dinette, coffee. We went out to breakfast this morning. Our bed sits back there, so it folds up against the wall, and you see it'll come out to about the corner of the cabinet here, and as you can see, it gives us quite a bit of more space here. We circle around to the other side of the cab. We have a back scratcher, stuff like that, itchy person. And we have another side of the dinette. Up top, more cabinetry, more storage, closed cabinetry. And of course, one of the biggest perks is we don't have to remove cabinets or nothing. There's our refrigerator. It's a RV, pretty much like a 30 or 40 foot RV size refrigerator, as you can see. We've got a nice big freezer. As you can see, we got some ice cream and stuff in there, along with, look out, Pup. Along with the refrigerator, which is a good size refrigerator. Doggo doesn't need to be in there, but he's just being nosy. Come on, Pup, pop out of there. And I don't think we've ever introduced the doggos. The one drinking water right there, that's Ace, and that's his younger brother, Bo. They get grumpy with each other. They're both males. They're not cut. They're not neutered. So they get grumpy with each other, but that's that. And that's the life, huh? joke around like that because the wife doesn't like to be on camera. That's the only reason why I screamed like that, because she usually yells at me for getting her on camera. Alright, so let's go over the numbers. We did 3 runs this week. Plain simple 3 runs, that's all we did. We picked up our first run in Pennsylvania. Don't mind the dog drinking of water behind you. They like to be obnoxious as soon as I turn the camera on. They're like kids, really, they are. We picked up our first run in Pennsylvania on, was it the Friday before or Thursday before? I think it was Thursday. Yeah, it was the Thursday before this last Monday. Picked it up in Pennsylvania. Well, actually, I got it written down here on 10/19. We delivered in California on 10/21. So that's when we picked up, according to the documentation. So let's go over some numbers. I won't do this very often, just because I don't feel like my numbers ain't gonna match your numbers. The way we get loads here, we don't pick off a load board. We're considered contractors. I mean, I can deny, accept, tell them go fuck themselves, whatever I want to do on a load. Request more money, whatever. So on this run here, we took it because we don't normally like going to California. To be honest with you, you don't make much money going out there, and you make the money going out it's kind of like Florida, right? You make money going out, but you don't make money coming back. It's just plain and simple. It's going to cost you more in fuel to come out of there than it costs going in there a lot of times. Because going in there, you can kind of pick and choose where you get fuel at. Coming out, sometimes you're stuck. You can't really be too picky. And even though you got to get 200 miles, 300 miles from the California border before prices come down any, a lot of times, depending on which way you're going. Where we went out of the California, prices didn't start coming down with our fuel discount until about 200 miles, 300 miles away from the California border. Unfortunately, we couldn't go that far. But anyways, this truck grossed on that run, before any expenses, before anything like that. That truck, or that load, grossed $4,500, $4,575.51. So $4,575.51 is what they paid us to go out there. The guy we're buying the truck from, as part of everything, he keeps 15%. We keep 85%. We are buying this truck, so that's why I say I'm an owner operator, because that was the dog. Because he's pretty much our bank. He says, make your truck payment, that's all I care. And because we're using his company name and stuff like that, that's where that expense comes in. Anyways, almost said it. Anyways, so gross numbers, the line haul on that one paid $36.91.70. It gave us $661.96 in fuel. We were able to get a $161.77 bonus, and the empty miles on that, they paid us $55.08 for empty miles on that. I didn't write down the empty miles and the loaded miles on that. I know it was quite a bit. I could probably look it up, but I'm on my phone. So, anyways, after the 15% comes out, we keep 85. It paid us gross numbers $31.37.94, so $3,137.94. Plus, we get all the fuel surcharge, so it's $661.96, and we get the bonus and the empty miles, so of $166.77 and $55.08 empty pay. Our empty pay is 36 cents a mile for all empty miles. That's a flat rate. That's what we get paid. That doesn't change. So our gross grand total to my wife and I before all expenses, $4,021.94. So that's what we paid. That's what we got paid. That's gross. That's before they take out fuel, because we pay for fuel. Right? We pay for fuel, we pay for truck note, we pay for insurance, we pay for all that stuff that comes out of us. But well, we're going to take all these numbers, all they take out of these numbers is fuel, because I feel like our truck note ain't going to be the same and our insurance cost ain't going to be the same. But in my thoughts, fuel is going to be similar if you run a straight truck. What you guys get paid in fuel, what I get paid in fuel, if you work where I work, the fuel surcharge is going to be about the same either way, no matter where you go. So, always negotiate for more money. If you work where I work, I'm not going to come out with names, nothing like that. If you see it in a video, cool. But you know what I mean? We're not going to talk about it left and right, but you'll see where I'm contracted to potentially in a video. It is what it is. Don't be a jerk. Anyways, so fuel surcharge on this run was $661.96. It cost us $617.83 to get out there with our fuel discount. So we actually made $44.13 on that fuel surcharge. Up, chill. So, anyways, so if you take that $4,021.94 minus the $617.83 in fuel that it cost us, my wife and I grossed, after all expenses, $3,403.68 on that run. So we did pretty decent. Actually, it was a little more than that because we took out $200 for groceries. So if you would add back in the $200 took out for groceries, you're looking, we made $3,600 at that. We took out $200 for groceries. Those groceries, that's what you still see in our fridge. So that lasts us 2-3 weeks. So we're pretty good. And we still eat out from time to time. Like we went to breakfast yesterday morning and this morning. So we still go out to breakfast and stuff. But we try to eat in the truck most of the time. All right. So our next load we ran, number 2 load, went from California to Colorado to Denver. Picked up on 10/21 and delivered on 10/23, which doesn't seem right, but that's what the book says. So that load gross paid $1,983.05. That's with everything. That's with we got a bonus on that one also. Which was kind of interesting. Anyways, so gross before fuel to my wife and I. I'm not going to go through all the numbers. Just know our line haul after the initial expense was $1,276.87. And they paid $259 in fuel surcharge. And then my numbers are confusing me. Anyways, my wife and I total, I think my numbers are confusing me, I'm not going to lie, a little bit, because they're so similar to the first run we did with the bonuses we got in the empty miles. So that's why they're confusing me a little bit. Anyways, gross before all expenses to my wife and I was $1,757.72. So $1,757.72. After expenses, my wife and I grossed $1,149.32 off of that run. That's after fuel expense. So that's what we took home. Our last run, we were in Texas. We went to Oklahoma to pick up, and we came to Wisconsin. Empty miles on that was 185. Loaded miles was 863. Gross on that run was 1608.73. That's what the gross was. After 85% of that to us, what ended up being with we get 85% of the line haul, so after all that's said and done, was $1421.02. It cost us. They chew very loudly, by the way. I don't know if you heard them chewing in the background, but she gave them a treat. That was them snacking their gums. Fuel fuel expense was that right? $163.79. That's what we spent in fuel. These dogs. Anyways, sorry, my dogs are distracting me. I don't keep my attention span's not very long, so let's just get on with this. Gross after all costs was $1,257.23. Gross before fuel was taken out. Sorry, let's go backwards. Gross before fuel was taken out was $1,421.02. Gross after all expenses was $1,257.23. So after all expenses, we made $1,257.23. If you add that all together plus the $200 before, we don't take that expense out till the end. So you add back in that $200 that we spent on groceries, which we didn't spend $200, but that's what we took out. This truck grossed before food expense $6,239.15. That's what we made for 3 runs, 1 week. First week of being an owner-operator. Is every week going to be that way? No. But not bad for a first week. I can take $6,200 gross to the house. That's before taxes and before food expense. Now groceries. So it's not too bad. It may not be where you're happy, but I'm happy with that. My goal, my weekly goal take home is $4,000 after all expenses. That'll be $2,000 to my wife and I know that's low. Most people are like, I don't know why you're paying yourself. Listen, you've gotta, I pay for my own maintenance. So a lot of companies, they'll take X amount of pennies out or, so much out for maintenance and all that. I pay for maintenance, I pay for fuel. So I have nobody that's going to keep a maintenance account for me. I know AMA or whatever you call your maintenance account. I don't have that. I have to provide my own maintenance and keep track of my own maintenance. So that's why I say $4,000. Until I get a decent maintenance account built up, then I can start paying my wife and I a little more. But until then, we're at $4,000 is my take-home gross amount that I want to take. That allows me to put $2,000 towards maintenance a week and $2,000 to my wife and I. So if you go by that math, you got $6,200, you got $2,000 to my wife and I, and $4,000 going into maintenance. That's our numbers. We're always going to take $2,000 off the top, pay her and I, and then the rest, whatever's left over, that goes to maintenance until I hit the number that I want to hit. The number I'm trying to get to first by the end of the year, because we're going to be out here till the end of November, then we're going to go home for 10 days, come back out, and then run to the end of the year. Before the end of the year, I would like to have $10,000 to $12,000 in my maintenance account. I see that shouldn't be very hard. Because you got to figure we already got once this pays out, we'll have $4,000 in there, and then if we can make the money that I want to make gross next week, there's say another $2,000, there's $8,000, and then we got another month before we go home, or another 3 weeks before we go home, so it shouldn't be that difficult to get that $10,000 to $12,000. Where I want to be with my maintenance account by say December of 2024 or 2025, sorry, by December of 2025, I'd like to have, it's gonna sound like a big number, but $30,000 to $40,000 in my maintenance account. You figure $10,000 this year, if we at minimum $2,000 a week, that's $4,000 a month. 10 months is $40,000. 12 months is what, 44,000? No, more than that, 50,000 almost. But anyways, my numbers are a little crazy right now in my head. I got a lot of numbers in my head right now, but my goal by the end of next year, by December of 2025, to have at minimum around $40,000 in my maintenance account. My mind says $40,000 in the maintenance account. I should be able to fix anything that breaks on this truck without even batting an eye. And if the truck's got to go down for a little bit of time, you know, that'll come out of the maintenance account also to keep us afloat until we get the truck back on the road. But now you've seen my truck, you've invaded me, and you've seen my truck. You've seen my first week numbers. Like I said, I'm not gonna do this every week. It's just don't get used to it. But I wanted to, you know, I'm doing daily stuff anyways. I want to do the first week as an owner operator, and this is my first week income and expenses as an owner operator. If I'm not going to go into finances every week. It's just all I'm trying to say. So I hope you liked the video. Hope you tune in. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for being here. Remember, be good to one another and live to expedite another day. Also, I can move a lot of stuff across this country, my wife and I. But the one thing I can't move is the growth of this channel without your help. So hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend. Have them hit the subscribe button. And stop back and see us sometime. I thank you for being here. And